Hello everybody, how are we doing? Oh god, you can even just see the biscuit there, sorry. For anyone who's not watching live, I just said that I was just eating a digestive biscuit. In the chat, I think you just caught a glimpse of it, so I do apologise. What a great way to start the stream. Probably the best way we've ever started the stream. So yeah, going into Game Week 7, lots of stuff to talk about. This may be the last, or one of the last regular streams on a Thursday. I'm thinking about just doing the stream on a Sunday, Monday, and then doing an extra video on Thursday. More of a... Oh my god, my t-shirt's so dirty. More of a... like a community Q&A thing, so more concise about the key questions for the week rather than doing a whole nother stream. So the reason I'm mentioning it now is because more people will watch the start of the stream than the end. So let me know in the comments below what you think. So we'll see. I'll still definitely do the stream earlier on. Not sure about the later one. I appreciate most people watching now probably will disagree. But look, they may still continue. I haven't decided for sure. So let me know what you think. Anyway, into the more important stuff. The polls are up. We have 5 polls. Is Kane worth bringing in? What to do with David Silva? How crazy is Salah to Kane for 2 weeks? So not just bringing in Kane, but how silly is it to get rid of Salah to Kane for 2 weeks? A few people looking at bringing in Richarlison and or Maddison. So Maddison versus Richarlison. And then the best Mendy replacement if he's injured. Of course, we don't know for sure about whether he is or not. So yeah, they're the polls. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the stream. Or if you do enjoy the stream. And hit subscribe if you're new. And we will play a quick message from the sponsor for the stream. As always, thanks very much to fantasyfootballscout.co.uk for sponsoring the streams. Make sure to check them out by hitting the link in the description below if you haven't already. Loads of free stuff, loads of members stuff for about £15 for the whole season. So make sure you go and check that out if you haven't already. I'm sure loads of you have, but just in case there's still some people that haven't clicked that button, it's in the link below. Anyway, how are we going? I've just realised I've got my last week's score up, not the current team for this week. So, what am I going to do this week? I'm not completely sure. It's getting closer to the weekend, so I'm obviously bottling the Salah to Kane thing a little bit. Maybe for good reason. Keep Thursday stream petition started. How's it going, Stephen? Physio, what's up? Yeah, just put up this week's team. Yeah, Kane is a 2-week part. I'm sure we'll talk about that a bit. Is Doherty fit? There was a picture of him in training. We don't know if he's definitely fit. Hopefully we'll find out tomorrow. I got to be honest, I've been super busy this week. So, super busy. So I've been a bit behind with news. So I've not seen many of the press conference news today. I know that Eriksen's out, Aurier's out. I don't know if there's been any other major news, but I think Wolves is tomorrow. Although, correct me if I'm wrong. So we don't know yet if Doherty's injured or not. Luckily, I've got a pretty good bench this week. So I'm not too concerned if he misses out. But it does... If Doherty's out, and I don't know definitely about David Silva, then it's tricky. How's it going, FPL there? Told you Silva would be rested. Yeah, look, I wasn't going to get rid of him versus Cardiff. Would have been a really good match for him. Am I bored of doing the streams? Nope. I think a video might be better. That's all. Is Son a good pick? I mean, Son is... I think, talking about Spurs in general... I kind of mentioned this on the Scoutcast. They're pretty short-term picks, right? So Huddersfield away and Cardiff home, 2 good fixtures, right? No complaints about that. West Ham away, well, a few weeks ago we would have been loving that fixture, but then suddenly they stopped Chelsea from scoring. Maybe they're finding a little bit of form. Obviously, Declan Rice did pretty well in defensive midfield. So is that a good fixture? I mean, you'd expect Spurs to still do well in that, but we'd expected Chelsea to do well in the same fixture. So there's Man City at home. Yeah, not great. Wolves away, Palace away, 2 defences that are doing pretty well right now. And then Chelsea home, Arsenal away. So for me, Spurs are really short term. Huddersfield away, Cardiff at home. Now, if someone like Son keeps playing, I think he's like, let me check, I think he's about 8.3 million now. I mean, for that price, potentially he'll get you enough points over those fixtures. But for me, Kane is too expensive to have over those fixtures. I just don't think there's enough points in there. And Eriksen injured is not good, right? He's their most creative player. You know, do they need someone like Eriksen to put goals past Cardiff and Huddersfield? Probably not, but it's not going to help that he's out. And then Son is, 8.3 million. So for those looking at him, he's a nice little punt, I think, for the next 2 weeks. But they got Barcelona wedged in between those 2 games, so you don't know for sure if he's going to play both, especially with Lamela and Lucas around. Now, Eriksen out potentially means that one of those guys will get to play all 3. But I don't know, I'd like to get Kane in for that Cardiff at home. But again, like I said in the Scoutcast, for anyone that watched that, I never purposely... Like, Hazard's in good form, right? Good goal against Liverpool. Hat-trick not too long ago. And yeah, I'm purposely trying not to captain him when he's playing Southampton away. So maybe that's a stupid move on my part. I like Trippier. I think Trippier for the next couple. Hopefully he'll play now Aurier's out. And then switch him to like Robertson or something like that. But I don't know. Spurs are short term. You could get the points for sure. Maybe there'd be more emphasis on Kane to do well with Eriksen out. Now, how tired will they be after that Barcelona game? It's still tempting because I think if you're going to take a punt on not having Salah, then Chelsea and Man City are probably 2 games to do it. So I don't know if people are genuinely looking at getting the likes of... Even Trippier, like I like that I've got him, but I got him last week. So I've had an extra fixture out of him. Obviously didn't get the clean sheet, it was frustrating. But even bringing him in now, it's probably only for a couple of weeks. And then you're probably looking at like Alonso, maybe even Mendy if he's back. We don't even know, he might be even playing this week. Robertson, etc. I've got 0.5 million in the bank. So I can actually do David Silva to Ali for free. I could bring in Richarlison for David Silva. I don't know. The thing I like about my proposed transfers, it lets me keep David Silva for Brighton and Liverpool. And I think, even if he doesn't play both of them, he'll definitely play one. There's no way he misses 3 Premier League games in a row, right? So he could play both of them, miss the Hoffenheim game. Potentially. Not guaranteed, but potentially. So I get to keep him for the next 2. And then I get rid of Salah for 2 tough fixtures and get Kane in for the good ones. And have Richarlison versus Fulham. Although, even Richarlison I'm not 100% on, to be honest. He did very well in those... It's not that I don't think he's going to do well. I just think maybe the fixtures aren't as good as we are maybe giving him credit for. Like, Fulham's a great fixture, I think. Then Leicester away, Man United away, and Chelsea away in the next 5. I mean, they're not good fixtures for Richarlison, so I don't know how much I really need him. So I'm very tempted just to be boring and hold the transfer this week. I think I've got the bench to cover any injuries. I don't have to worry about Mendy. If David Silva plays, it's a great fixture. I keep Salah and Hazard. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Quinn, you're watching from Vegas on your wife's birthday. I bet your wife's really happy about that. Is she watching too? Triple captain Aguero for Brighton at home. Look, I think without trying to repeat myself too much, yes, okay, in a single game week, Brighton at home could be good, but we know he's getting a lot of kind of early subs, like around the 60-minute mark. So he could do damage in 60 minutes, but obviously not as much as someone who's probably going to play 90. Brighton's a good fixture, but I just think I will save it for a double game week, and I'll never change my opinion on that. I don't think. Of course, you could do well in a single game week, but in a double, you're giving yourself more chance, basically. Kane improving stats wise. Again, like there is like a caveat with that they are improving, but only that one game, and only right near the end. So like you said, it still looks sluggish. I think it is a bit of a pump, but if you're gonna suddenly get some points, Huddersfield away and Cardiff at home have got to be the ones. Although we have seen this before with Kane last year, captain for 2 easy fixtures and he got nothing. So it can happen. Adam, thanks very much for the £10. How's it going? Still got your lovely foot card thing on my wall. Love it. Is this crazy? Okay, that's a lot of people. Edison, Doherty. Oh, that's the whole team. Sorry, I thought it was like a transfer. I personally don't know about Edison. I know he's a good way into the Man City defence. I think it's a lot of money. I kind of like set and forget. I think there's some good 4.5 million keepers. I mean, not to say that Edison's a bad pick, but personally, I think I would go 4.5 still. Doherty's good. I think Trent instead of Robertson's a good idea as well. And Laporte, yeah, nailed on it, looks like. I mean, he's probably going to miss a game at some point, but he looks the most nailed on of all the defenders. Apart from maybe Walker. Madison good. Sterling captain, I love that. I mean, to be honest, I like the fact you're going about Hazard, because I think if you were bringing in an £11 million midfielder this week, Sterling looks better than Hazard to me, I think, with the fixtures. Richarlison and Fraser, Lacazette, Kane and Vardy. Oof, I like it. I don't think it's that... it's different for sure, but I don't think it's bad different. I mean, Lacazette and Vardy... The only thing I would say is Lacazette and Vardy is a lot of money tied up front when... Like Mitrovic, for example, is doing so well for such a good price. Seems a little bit... Not crazy to go without him, but I would definitely consider him and see what you could do with the money in midfield, maybe. Kane in the mid to Salah and Ings, Gameweek 9. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, no, that could work. I think that's an overall nice team. I think it's different, but it's not different for the sake of it. Like, Sterling absolutely could be a better option than Hazard over the next 3. You got most of the other key players. You probably do without Salah for the next 2. And decent defence. I love Doherty, so. And I also like the Yedlin pick. Newcastle defending pretty well. They got really nice fixtures. So yeah, decent that. Why don't I have Mitrovic? I didn't start the season with him and I just haven't been able to get him in. I stupidly wildcard and I couldn't afford him on my wildcard basically. How many years have I been doing FPL for? This is my 9th season now. Maybe I'll quit after 10. I don't know. Can I ever quit? Can you quit FPL once you're in? Not sure you can. Why don't I have Mitrovic just said. Do I think Trippier will play both league games? Look, I think the thing with him, if you're thinking of bringing him in, you just don't know if he will. But if Aurier's out, I'd be very surprised if Walker Peters plays instead. I think he's capable and it is easy fixture, so maybe he will. And yes, Trippier, Pochettino's fullbacks tend to get rested, but I mean Trippier surely can play 3 games in 7 days if he needs to. And maybe get a rest later on down the line. Thoughts on getting 100% of player value increase rather than 50%? Nah, I don't think I like that idea, to be honest. I think certain players would just get out of your reach so quickly. Lukaku's only blanked once or twice in his career against West Ham. I know, but I mean, I know some players do well against certain clubs, but I mean, really, it doesn't mean very much. In fact, I remember people spouting this. It was over last season or the season before, and he literally blanked that game. So one or the two you're thinking of is in the last 1 or 2 seasons. So I would look at it like West Ham have just had a good defensive performance against Chelsea. Man United, who knows what was going on there between Pogba and Mourinho, and their little spat must be having an effect on the squad. That training ground bust up, if you want to call it that, they were all kind of like trying to avoid the situation, and it must be so awkward. It's so public. So yeah, Lukaku has done well. And if you've got him, great. I wouldn't sell him, I don't think, right now. But at the same time, I wouldn't be bringing him in, I don't think. You're on Wildcard, not sure if you want Sterling or Hazard. I genuinely think Sterling, if you've got Man City spaces, is the better option. For the next 3 fixtures at least. And literally you are targeting the fixtures there. Obviously, Man City play Liverpool, but either side of that, it's Brighton and Burnley at home. So they are nice. Obviously, Hazard's kind of the inform pick that everyone likes right now, but it's not like Sterling. I mean, Sterling's not got a hat-trick, fair enough, but he's got points in most of his games, I think. Assist, goal, a blank against Wolves. Otherwise, he's got attacking returns in every single game so far. So it's pretty much the same as Hazard, but with slightly better fixtures over the short term. Same thing going on with Mendy. Yeah, I've said this a few times now. I think there's definitely something more to the Mendy injury. We'll see tomorrow, I suppose. Maybe I'll regret selling him if he plays. But Trippier versus Huddersfield, if he plays that, I'm happy enough. It was almost a good score last week. Why has Firmino fallen out of favour against all the FPL pundits? For sure passes the eye test. I think there's a few strikers right now that are kind of being overlooked. Vardy, Lacazette, Firmino. Obviously, a few people looking at bringing them in. Obviously, we saw Adams wildcard just a minute ago, had 2 of them. The problem is, not a problem, but the reason is players like Jimenez and Ings and Mitrovic, and even Wilson and King up until maybe the last couple of games, are doing really well for less money. So when you've got to try and spend 11 million on Hazard, 13 million on Salah if you want those players, then you put in less money up front. So that's the way a lot of people are playing. But you could, I mean, Vardy, for example, I think it's going to do really well over the next few weeks. So for me, there's a good option, but you know, personally, apart from maybe the money difference now, I'd probably rather have Mane for the good fixtures and put a cheaper striker up front. How about Dele Alli for Silva? Yeah, no, I've considered that. The thing is that Dele Alli's only just come back from injury. But, oh no, Kane's not out, it's Eriksen. I was going to say with Kane out, but I had that completely wrong. You tend to find when Kane's out, Ali kind of tries to step up into the goal scoring role a bit more. Salah and Lingard to Son and Sterling. Ooh, that could be a nice little punt. It is a punt though. I think when you make transfers like that, you've got to be prepared for it to not work. It's the same if I make the Kane move. I know that could backfire. It's just whether you're prepared to take that backfire. But Lingard, I mean, he probably needs to go longer term. Salah, maybe not. But obviously in the short term, it could be worth it. Do I sell Mane to Ali for a hit? Probably not. You'd want Mane back pretty quick. Liverpool's fixtures are really nice after the next 2. Mendy to Trippier. I think that's an okay move, but it is again short term. I don't know how. Like, I've got Trippier, and I honestly don't think I'll keep him that long. It might get into the situation where I've got other fires to put out, but I'm not convinced I'll keep him that long. I'm pretty much. I don't know what other defenders you got, but personally, I'm looking at getting Robertson back in at some point. No updates on Mendy right now. Zaha to Mitrovic will save the transfer. I think Mitrovic you could probably get away with not having for the next 2 weeks, but it depends who Palace have got, and I cannot remember. Bournemouth away. Yeah, I'd probably keep Zaha for that, I think. If someone like Salah is underperforming, does that mean they're about to explode, or does it mean they don't have the quality currently to finish typical chances? It depends what you mean by underperforming, because he's underperforming for the amount of goals and assists he should have, but when you look at like underlying stats and stuff, he's still getting plenty of chances, plenty of goal attempts, plenty of shots in the box, good expected goals. So he's just performing and maybe not getting. Of course, he's missed a few big chances, But I mean, I would look at it that he's a very good player in a very good attacking team. He's going to get those chances. He's going to put them away sooner rather than later, I would say. But the fixtures are not great for the next two. I don't like the word cover. Son to cover Kane. I mean, Son is, if he plays both games, I think he's just a good option for 8.3, but Spurs not been in the greatest form. Is this your team set, or would you consider benching? No, I don't consider benching Alonso, I don't think. Although, there is an argument, I suppose, to say, like, what is the ceiling for Alonso versus Liverpool? He's not likely to get 2 attacking returns against Liverpool and could quite easily lose the clean sheet. So, I don't know, let's say if I had Robertson as well, for example, then I would maybe consider him one of Robertson or Alonso for Doherty. But because I'm playing Doherty anyway, I don't feel like I need to play Bennett, to be honest. Underperforming meaning lack of FPL points. Yeah, I mean, he's getting plenty of chances, so he's not had the points, but I think he will. Do I take Zaha out for Jimenez so I can swap Mendy for Alonso? Again, I mean, Alonso is one of those you don't really want to go without because of how well he can do and how much he can punish you. But, you know, Liverpool, same thing as Hazard. Liverpool, Man United in the next 3. Okay, he could get points for sure, but is he going to get like the kind of 11, 12, 13 plus points against those teams? Probably not. So I don't know if it's super desperate that you do Mendy to Alonso, but if you're going to want Alonso for a very, like, in the long term and you're really keen on selling Mendy, then I think that sounds like an okay move. Currently about 20k. When would you wildcard? Wait for the double game week. Well, you get you can only use your first wildcard up until Christmas, and the double game weeks won't be until after Christmas. So there's no point in waiting for that. Use it when you need it, or if you've got a really good team but you want to change a few big players, you could wildcard from a position where you're kind of attacking rather than just patching up. How many points does the Fantasy Football Scout expect for your team? There is 0 expectations. It's not a case of you've got to hit a certain rank or you'll be kicked off. Well, that would be funny. Should you triple captain Harry Kane? Honestly, I think that's a step too far. I mean, I suppose if you're bringing him in and you captain him because you think he's going to do well, then why not triple captain? But let's be honest, the form has not been great. So, I mean, I probably wouldn't do it for the Huddersfield game. But let's say he plays really well for Huddersfield and you think he's going to do the business against Cardiff, then maybe. Seems a step too far for me. What would your wildcard lineup look like if you had to play it this week? Yeah, I don't want to do a whole new wildcard, but just to kind of say a few differences. I wouldn't go with Salah on wildcard, I don't think. I would probably switch it or think about bringing him back later. And I probably would go Kane if I was wildcarding. Apologies if you can hear the dog. It's not mine, it's next door. So I'd probably have Kane, and I probably wouldn't have David Silva. So I'd probably get Richarlison. And I'd look for Mitrovic instead of Wilson. Otherwise, I'm not sure I'd change too much on my current team. Possibly Trippier. I don't know. I'd probably go Trippier. I mean, I'd probably wildcard to a similar thing what I'm thinking with Kane and Richarlison in for Salah and Wilson. Wilson transferred to Jimenez, is it worth it? I wouldn't get too much cold feet on Wilson just yet, even though I kind of am a little bit with my potential transfers. By the way, thanks to Emmanuel for the $5 there. Let me see if he asked a question. Don't think so. Not that I can see. Is Hart a good bet for goalkeeper? Yeah, I think Hart looks good. I think Hart, Hennessy, spring to mind for 4.5s. Maybe not. Probably not McCarthy at Southampton. He's making a lot of saves, I think, but not keeping too many clean sheets. Is Hart the better option of Foster? I'd probably go with Hart. I think There's just that little worry it doesn't keep his place, but he's doing pretty well. Burnley are looking better now. No Europe. I'm also really hoping that David Silva starts this week. You said at the start of the week you don't rate Kane. Can't help but feel you change your mind. It's just because of the Twitter bandwagon. I don't know if there's that much of a bandwagon, to be honest. I think if I'm honest, I probably missed... I didn't miss that he had a good fixture, but I missed who other teams were playing and that it wasn't necessarily a standout captain option. And also that... I don't know, considering... Because I did well on the wildcard and I've done okay the next week, I feel like I'm a little bit ahead where I would have been if I hadn't wildcarded, and I want to kind of attack a bit more, which is why I'm thinking of making this attacking move, Salah out. So it is a risk because it's going to cost me 4 points. But it means I get Richarlison and Kane for good fixtures, and I don't have Salah and Wilson. But I mean, Wilson could punish me if I take him out. So then I get Mitrovic and Salah back later. So, I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Dullard move will be just to make no transfers. Mecca for the 40 rubles, I think. Thanks very much. Kane or Hazard? I mean, it depends how you're thinking of doing that. If you're on a wild card or if you're making transfers or who you're removing. But I think just because of the next two fixtures, I would say Kane. But, I mean, Hazard's in the form we've not seen for a long time. So I wouldn't be that quick to remove him. Yeah, I think David Silva is too much of a rotation. Too much. I don't know if he's going to miss a huge amount of games. But yeah, I probably will look to ship him in a few weeks. If not this week, maybe. Do I know why a player's value doesn't match their transfer worth? Every time a player goes up in price, you only get 0.1 million for every 0.2 million they go up. Lucas Moura at his price, I think... I mean, if we're talking rotation threats, he's got to be one now. Don't think I'd go with him personally. Robertson or Pereira from Leicester for this week. I mean, yeah, Pereira didn't... If you're thinking about who to start, I'd probably start Robertson, to be honest. AT with a 199, thanks very much. Should you bring in Trippier for Mendy until he's fit? Like I've said a few times, like Trippier is probably a short-term pick who is not definitely nailed on. So I don't know if I would bring in Trippier this week now, to be honest. Like I said, I'm happy that I've got him. I'm happy that I've got him because I obviously had him for last week as well. But it's two fixtures and then you got to get rid of him again. Possibly look elsewhere, maybe. Wildcard, you have Hazard and you want Kane. Look, if you're wildcard and you want Kane, go for it. I don't think it's hard to say this after he's just scored a hat-trick, but I just don't see Hazard as essential. I'm not sure I see anyone as essential right now. Not in the big hitters. There's so much choice, you can't have them all. So if you want Kane and you like the fixtures, go for it. Yeah, that's a good point. From Jatin, Trippier will probably be on all set pieces now with Eriksen out. It makes him a bit more of a nicer option. Lamela to start due to scorching form. He has done really well when he's played. I think he probably deserves a start, to be honest. Whether he will or not, I'm honestly not sure. I think Son has to come back into that lineup more often than not now. Play Wilson or Fraser, you have to bench one. That's a tough one. I'd probably bench Fraser because Wilson's got penalties. Yeah. Eriksen injured, yep. Lukaku out for Vardy for a -4. Not sure I would do that. I think Newcastle's a tricky one for Leicester. They've defended so well at home. Now, I do think there's probably a chance that Newcastle... Wilson doesn't have penalties. Oh, he doesn't have penalties, does he? It's King, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I've already... that's why I had King before. Yeah, okay. My bad. I'd probably still play Wilson, though. I don't think there's too much in it, really. Yeah, I got it wrong. I'm sorry. I apologise. Vardy loves scoring against Newcastle. Yeah, I'm not saying he'll do badly. I think Newcastle defend well, but I think they'll probably push up a little bit more against someone like Leicester, which could leave space for Vardy, of course. I just don't know about a -4 for Lukaku this week. What are your views on how to deal with cross-playing players when your players play each other? To be honest, it depends who they are, but I'm not too bothered about my players playing each other generally. Obviously, you don't want it to happen too often. But if it's like Alonso and Robertson or Hazard and Robertson, I would just play them. They've got attacking potential. They're kind of that price for a reason. And all you need is for that game to finish 0-0, or Alonso to get an attacking return but to concede, and then Robertson to get the clean sheet. I just think there's enough upside to play both. Alonso or Robertson? You're leaning towards Robertson. I'd probably go with the home man, honestly. I'd probably go with Alonso over Robertson. I think it's close though, but yeah, I'd back the man at home. I don't know if I don't know. Liverpool probably the better side, but Chelsea at home they've been good this season. I still think what is Kante doing up the pitch and on the wing, but look, that's why I'm sat here and not managing a Premier League club, I suppose. If there's nothing. I know there's nothing in it. It's so frustrating. Fantasy Football Scout stats say, Fraser, you fancy Wilson. Look, if you fancy Wilson, it's your team. Go for it. You should intentionally say incorrect things all the time so that the chat goes wild. I like it. Pogba or Mourinho, who do you support? That's a tough one. I mean, what I'd really like to be is a fly on the wall to see exactly who is causing the problems, because we know what Mourinho is like. Or is Pogba just getting too big for his boots? And I kind of agree with the people that say that Pogba... I mean, we know what Mourinho is like. Third season syndrome, whatever you want to call it. So is he trying to get it out of the club, but kind of be kicked out so he gets his money? Maybe. Is Pogba just pushing for a move? Maybe. I think the same about Mourinho out, the same as when Wenger went. It's all well and good Mourinho going, but who's coming in for him? If Zidane's free, yeah, maybe. How good will he be with that Man United side versus what he did with Real Madrid? Most important bit of info, what type of biscuit were you eating? Digestive. Using your wildcard this week, who should you get in? You should get in Doherty and Van Bissaka. Job done. How long did David Silva play versus Oxford? About 61, 62. I can't remember who it was now. Someone asked, why is the stream called What to Do with David Silva? A lot of people will consider him maybe getting rid because they don't think he's necessarily going to play. He's not injured, but Pep's said that he can't play 3 games in 7 days anymore. So they're going to have to use him sparingly. So there's a chance that he doesn't play this week. So I'm kind of considering myself whether to get rid. I think I'm probably going to keep, because I think there's a chance he plays. And if he doesn't, should play against Liverpool anyway. Is Sterling going to play most games? I'd be surprised if he doesn't. Ryan in goal. Yeah, I know it's not looking good this week. I'm just hoping that after this week, Ryan will start getting me some points. If he doesn't, it's going to look even more stupid move than it does right now. Would I take Pochettino? Yeah, sure. Dinnery says he doesn't know anything about a Doherty injury. Yeah, I mean, we'll find out in the press conference, right? We hope we will. Hopefully get confirmation either way. Wilson to Mitrovic for a hit. No, not for me this week. Wilson's got a nice home game. Yes, it's Crystal Palace, but we've seen Bournemouth attack really well this year. And Mitrovic, of course, has been brilliant, but it's Everton and Arsenal. I don't know if it's worth a hit. Where do you find the code for the league? It's in the description below. Is Stanislas a threat to Fraser? I think he would have been, but I just think with the way Fraser is playing, I think if Stanislas is fit, there's a chance they just both play. It depends what formation they go to be honest. I think if you've got Fraser, you just keep him and don't panic too much. Time to cash in on Mane. Again, depends who you bring in. I think short term, yeah, okay, next 2 fixtures for sure. Doesn't look great for him, but then they got really nice ones, including players like Cardiff at home, etc. So, it depends who you're getting rid of. I mean, do you need to get Hazard in right now? Maybe not. If you're using that Mane money to go someone up front, maybe you could do that. You've got Mane and Alonso on the bench this week. Am I brave or stupid? It depends who you're benching them for, I suppose. Bernardo Silva or Maddison? Yeah, Bernardo Silva. Nice score last week. I think I'd go Maddison though. You've had Mane since day one, now he's 10 million. I mean, yeah, he's had a good season. Fraser or Maddison? I'm a big fan of Maddison right now. He's done really well for me. He's got good fixtures. I don't know why I would look away from him. So, Fraser or Maddison? I'm going Maddison. Mendy's injury is a blessing in disguise. Will help me replace him with Doherty and get a midfield of Hazard, Mane and Salah. Yeah, I like Mendy to Doherty. For those, if they've not got someone like Doherty, if he's fit, and you fancy and not getting trippy, you want to take someone out of defence, I think Mendy to Doherty is a nice transfer this week. How much ownership does Doherty have now? 2.6%. Oh, I love that. Who is a good goalkeeper to bring in, Hart or Ryan? I think right now you have to say Hart. Let's see how Ryan does in the good fixtures. He should do better than he's been doing, I hope. Don't forget, by the way, vote on the polls if you haven't already. It'd be much appreciated. Just click on the little eye in the top right hand corner and hit that like button if you're enjoying the stream, and subscribe if you're new, etc, etc. Physio, I'll catch you later. Thanks as always for tuning in. Isn't Doherty injured? We don't know for sure. He was in training. We'll wait till tomorrow. Am I getting Kane for a hit? Harry Kane for a hit. Harry Kane. Out of form Harry Kane for Salah, who's performing pretty well stats-wise and been ticking over points and could do the business against 2 teams. And it would cost me -4 points. I mean, every time I say it out loud, it doesn't sound very good. It doesn't sound like a good move. It's basically a move I wouldn't have made over the last 2 seasons. It's absolutely a move I would have done in my first 3 seasons of playing. Like I would have probably already made the move, to be honest. I don't know. Then I've got to swap back. If I get the one thing in the back of my mind is, what if I get other problems? I'm then going to have to take bigger hits to resolve it. Now, right now the bench looks good, but how long will that last for? Do I ever get annoyed with answering the same questions? No, not really. I tend to not... I mean, I know I do answer the same questions, but I try not to do it too much. If you had to be crazy for a game, we can go with a captain pick who is not mainstream. Who would it be? I mean, when you say not mainstream, I guess you mean not Aguero, right? Because, I mean, Aguero is the go-to. I think people that got Sterling, I think that's a nice option. Richarlison as an outside option. Who else? Ozil, if you wanted to go completely out there against Watford. Danny Ward, Cardiff versus Burnley. No, probably not him. Hey, look, out there captains, not captains you do. Yeah, that's the thing, Teddy. You know, Salah could do the business against Chelsea and Man City. I don't think anyone is going to sit here and say absolutely Salah just will not get points in the next 2 game weeks. No one's going to say that. He's too good. It's just like an opportunity of Huddersfield away and Cardiff at home. An attacking transfer. 4 points down, but I have Richarlison against Fulham and Kane versus Huddersfield away. The thing is, it's going to cost me 4 points no matter when I do it. So I could not do it this week and do it the week after. I don't have to do it this week. That's the thing. And I mean, to get Wilson against Crystal Palace. I mean, who does Wilson have after that? Watford away, Southampton home, Fulham away. So, I mean, Bournemouth's fixtures are okay for the next 4. Then it gets tricky. I'm definitely not going to want him after that, though. After the next 4, it's Man United, Arsenal and Man City. Probably not needed for that. Gundogan. See you later, Mr. FPL there. Go and check out their channel if you haven't already. It's a very unique way of playing FPL, which I love. I couldn't do it myself, so it's great to have someone else doing it, so I can just watch instead. Not sure about the Salah exit strategy. I mean, let's be honest, it's not the safe or sensible option, so a lot of people are not going to be up for it. Myself included, probably. If I had more, what would I do? I would keep him for the next 2 fixtures and hope he plays in both. Maybe monitor what happens in Barcelona, but definitely keep for the next one. You could free hit Kane in the card. Nah, not for me. Not free hit. I think that's just best save for the end of the season. Which I know is boring. Save for double game weeks, save for blank game weeks. Look, they need to give us a free hit in the opening, the first half of the season. Seriously. Basically, you're hoping that Kane will score in at least both and Salah blanks. Yes, of course. But I'm also captaining Kane in a game week where not many people... Salah will probably have a good few captains still, but he won't be the main choice. So a blank and a haul for Kane would be much better than just a blank and a goal with no captain. And it gives me Richarlison against Fulham, which I think is a good option, but I don't know how long-term how good Richarlison is. Do I think Salah is a season keeper? I mean, I don't like to label anyone season keepers, to be honest, because so much happens over the course of a season. And he's 13 million, or 12.9 now. You know, no matter who you are, when you're that price, you've got to consider getting rid of people. So I think the fact he is that price, and he's probably not going to fluctuate up and down too much, just because of his ownership. You know, he's not going to suddenly drop 0.3 million, so people aren't going to be worried about his price. I think there is the opportunity to take him out and put him back in. How many price shots would you tolerate with Salah? I mean, that depends how many points he's getting and how well he's playing, to be honest. You got 402 points overall. Very nice. I don't think differential captains are a right strategy. I mean, yeah, personally, I agree. I always go for a good pick rather than a super out there pick. Levi with the £2. Thank you very much. You've still got Aubameyang, brave or stupid? I don't think it's stupid, to be honest. Playing Watford this week, I think that's an okay fixture. It's just a shame he's not playing central, do you know what I mean? But then it's Fulham after that, who have been conceding quite a few goals. So, look, is there players that have been performing better for the money? Yes. Is it stupid to keep him? No, I don't think so. Am I definitely going ahead with Salah out, or are you being... So I'm not really being swayed either way, to be honest. I know there's pros and cons to both, and such a big move, I'm not going to decide early on in the week. I'll wait till tomorrow and see what the press conferences say, see if I get any more injury doubts, etc. I don't know, we'll see. I mean, I got to be honest, I'm probably not going to have too much time tomorrow to think about FPL, or on Saturday. And actually, I know a lot of people, when they don't have much time, they just... I don't know, in some seasons, if I don't have much time, I just leave it and just... I'll worry about it next week, save a transfer. But this season, I've been more like, oh, I can't bother to worry about it. I'm just going to make the transfer. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll leave it till Saturday morning, just for ultra intense speculation. In your opinion, what's the best bench? I'm pretty happy with mine, to be honest. Apart from, you know, you could maybe change Ward to Højbjerg, but, you know, Ward's got a good fixture now after a couple of bad ones. He's playing up front, out of position. I mean, it's 4.5 million. I'm not expecting too much. Where is the best place to catch up on the press conference stuff? Fantasy Football Scout do a roundup video, and FPL Connect does a article tomorrow, so check that out. Not sure what time that comes out though. Alright, let's do the polls in a couple of minutes. So If you haven't already, click on the little eye in the top right hand corner and vote on those polls as quickly as you can, just to make sure we get through as many as we can. Should there be a maximum captaincy chip? No, I don't like that, to be honest, because people will just, again, it'd just be another chip for the double game weeks. Who wins the golden boot? I think I went for Harry Kane pre-season. Not so sure. Could he come back? Yeah. I also went for Aubameyang as top scoring forward. I'm not sure that's going to happen now. I don't know. I think I went for Liverpool most clean sheets and Robertson the top defender. But I mean, I was kind of underestimating Alonso a bit, wasn't I? And I also put Ederson as the top keeper. You know, he's only 5 points off. Robertson only a few points off the top. Top scoring, I think I went Salah, of course, for midfielder. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Moobsy, the £2. Thanks very much. Hazard, Vardy, or Lacazette for captain. This week, that's a tough one out of those three. It should probably... that's really tough. I probably wouldn't go Hazard, I don't think, against Liverpool, because they've just been defending so well. So it's Lacazette or Vardy. I mean, Lacazette's stats are not necessarily the best, but his form is good. 5 attacking returns in the last 4. Arsenal finding their feet. It's the home game. I'd probably go Lacazette out of those three. If you go Kane, I feel it has to be done this game week. Yeah, I mean, it's going to cost me 4 points, and 4 transfers. So I feel like if I'm going to do it, I'll do it this week. If I do it next week, I think 4 transfers in 2 weeks just feels like too much. Even though it's essentially the same amount plus the same cost. It just doesn't feel as good. Alright, let's do the polls. If you haven't voted already, it's too late. It's too late. Let me just refresh a sec. Okay, so let me put them on this screen. Does that mess up? Oh no. So is it worth bringing in Kane in? This isn't necessarily who for, this is just, is it worth bringing in? So I'm going to say, I think this will be no, but I don't think it'll be overwhelmingly no, just because of the fixture. So I'm going to go like 37% no. No, wait, I meant, yeah, no. Sorry, I meant higher actually. Anyway, whatever. So is it worth bringing Kane in? 54% say no. So nearly a 50-50 split. Most people, majority saying no, but only just. What to do with David Silva? This is probably going to be a keep, surely, with the fixture. Keep for the short term, which I think is what I'm going to do, 49%, and only 9% saying keep long term, which is fair enough, rotation and whatnot. And 41% saying should sell this week. So just about keeping short term is the good option there. Probably what I'm going to do. How crazy is Salah to Kane for 2 weeks? I'm going to say crazy. Oh wow, 69% says it has potential. Interesting. Obviously everyone else says it's crazy. I'm surprised. I suppose has potential. And anyone could click that. I should have put I would definitely do it, shouldn't I really? But still higher than I expected. Maddison for Richarlison. I think Richarlison will win because of the fixture, but Maddison should be high up. Yeah, Richarlison 64%. Obviously Maddison 35, 36. I don't know, I think that's a bit harsh on Maddison. He's doing so well. Really nice fixtures. I think I'd probably go for Maddison over Richarlison long term. Best Mendy replacement if injured. 54% saying Trippier. 11% Laporte. 22% just saying get a 5 million defender or below. 4% for Walker. And 6% for someone else. So the majority saying Trippier, I think, is probably as expected. A lot of people asking me about FIFA. Yes, I have it. At this point, you didn't specify Doherty on the polls. I nearly did, but you only get so many poll options, so I have to change it. Kane against Huddersfield and Cardiff doesn't get any better. Oh. I've got a feeling, like I know people sometimes think I like milk this for views or whatever crazy thing, as if people watch simply to watch me do a move like that, but I'm still split, but I think I'm siding with doing it. Just not huge. Not saying I'll definitely do it, but I'll try and update on Twitter before the deadline if I do it. We'll see. Sometimes I think I worry too much about what might happen. Like, could Salah get double-digit hauls in both these games? He probably could, but no, he definitely could, in fact. But surely the odds are against, just because of the two fixtures. Oh, I don't know. Arnie's going under the radar. Wait for that fixture swing. But when does the fixtures swing? Because if it's in 2 weeks, maybe I'll get him instead of Mitrovic. Can't exactly remember when it is. It's a little while till they swing, to be fair. Gameweek 11 for Burnley at home, I suppose. Before that, it's Man United at home, Brighton away, Spurs at home, Leicester away. So Gameweek 11. But yeah, nice price drop on him. 6.9 million. Less than Mitrovic now, I think. I think Mitrovic went up to 7. If not, he will soon. Everyone riding this Kane bandwagon, but without Eriksen, it's going to be way more risky. That is true. I don't know how... I said this earlier. I mean, yes, it's going to hurt Spurs, but it is Huddersfield and Cardiff. Your view on Pogba. I already spoke about Pogba and Mourinho earlier. Best differential captain has to be Sterling. Yeah, I think so. I think he's one of, anyway. 11.29 on Saturday. I'll bottle it and just captain Salah. I know 100% I won't captain Salah. That's for sure. Kane versus Cardiff captain. I mean, should be jumping at that, really. What will make you feel worse? Missing the Kane haul and not bringing him in, or Salah gets the brace and Kane blanks. Probably not bring Kane in. Because like I say, I'm not just saying it for the sake of it. I generally think it's a cool idea, and it's not just Salah to Kane. It's also getting Richarlison for Fulham and then getting Mitrovic back in for his good fixtures and getting rid of David Silva. So it's four transfers, but I don't know how I'm hitting the fixtures and I'm getting rid of David Silva and Wilson longer term for Mitrovic and Richarlison, essentially, which I could obviously do without doing Salah to Kane. But for 4 points, it could be worth the risk. Cheers, Teddy. Thanks for tuning in. Glad you could tune in live. If the odds were on Andy making the move, it would be 2-7. Yeah, I think that's fair. When we introduce your son to the world of FPL, so he has his own team. We didn't make it until game week 3 or 4, I think. But what was great is he went for Man United players, De Gea, Lukaku and Pogba, and they've done him really well so far. He had Robertson and Trent last week. So yeah, he actually beat me last week. I think he got 67, which he was very happy to remind me over and over again. How much of a priority is your keeper situation? Nah, it's not a priority, really. Has to be set and forget. They've got better fixtures coming up, so I'm just going to see, maybe over the kind of the next 3, 4, 5 fixtures how they do. I've told myself, don't hold that keeper if they're absolutely awful and there's other better options. I've told myself to make the transfer if I need to. I don't want to be, what's the word? I don't want to be stubborn about it. I think I may have made a mistake, but I did look longer term than the last 2 or 3 fixtures. So, and they had 2 penalties against him. Obviously, I wish he saved one. Would have been nice. You took plenty of hits last season. I didn't really. I think I took about 40-ish. I took 90 odd the week before, the season before, like 90 points worth, not 90 individual hits. Yeah, we'll see. Look, I think I will do it. But as I always say, it's very easy to say you're going to do a move early in the week. It's much harder to do it on Friday and Saturday. How about you get the questions up front? Yeah, look, people have asked me about that before. To be honest, not that question. Asking me to get questions up in advance doesn't really get asked that often. I feel like most people who watch the stream, they kind of like the way it's set up, right? I mean, if I get questions in advance and answer them, it's just another podcast, and there's loads of them. There's not so many streams. There is a lot of streams these days, but maybe not as many as there are podcasts. So I'm not too bothered About getting questions up front. I don't know if that's the format I want to go down. Now, like I said earlier in the stream, for anyone that's not heard, I did say I may drop the Thursday stream and put up a video instead and just do the stream on Sunday, Monday, whenever the games finish. Now, it doesn't mean I can't ever do a stream at the end of the week, but I may not have it every week. I don't know. I feel like a video might be better. Who's your favourite YouTuber outside of FPL? Oh, I don't know. I watch most of the True Geordie podcasts and stuff like that. Change nothing. Yeah, look, I'm sure that's what people want, and we do what the people want, right? The good thing about the video for me, like from personal point of view, is that with a stream on a Thursday, I have to be here at Thursday at 9:30. Now, obviously, I could change the time, I could change the day, but I mean, consistency is key. I want people to know when I'm going to be around. Whereas for a video, I can say, okay, it's going to be up at 8 o'clock every Thursday, but I don't necessarily have to make it on the Thursday. Now, I can't do it too much in advance because it is FPL after all, sorry. But like I could make it Wednesday night, for example, if that was better for me. I don't know. I'm sure I will keep the streams, but thought I'd put it out there and just see what people think. And on that note, I'm heading off. I mean, all the people watching right now will obviously want you to keep the stream. Yeah, of course. I realise that. We'll see. I'll put it up on Twitter maybe tomorrow. Before we go, thanks very much for the Let's Talk FPL producers. Dean P, Madchek, Alex C, Kenneth DT, Connor S, Andreas G, Matthew H, and Hayden, not Aiden H, and Melissa B for the support. Thanks very much. If you want to check out Patreon, the link is in the description below. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it there. I will let you know if I make the transfer. When I make the transfer, who knows? I'll put that on Twitter as always. It could be an interesting one. It could make for a very interesting stream next week, depending on how it goes. Next week's stream, because the game is Bournemouth and Crystal Palace, and yeah, people will have players and that, but it's not the most exciting fixture. And it's Cardiff versus Burnley on Sunday. Jesus, it couldn't get much worse, could it? Although I could have, if SILVA misses out on the Saturday, I could have Danny Ward playing in Cardiff versus Burnley, in which case I will probably watch that. Anyway, the stream will probably be on Sunday night. We'll skip Monday because Bournemouth and Palace. So 9:30, as always. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, share, subscribe. All of that great stuff. Not good stuff, great stuff. And I will catch you soon. Good luck in Game Week 7.